All right. Well, hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Auriana Robin, and I am a Senior Program Coordinator here at Apprenti. And today I'll be acting as your Master of Ceremonies. Apprenti's National Graduation is a celebration of the 125 apprentices who have completed our Technology Apprenticeship Program in the third and fourth quarters of this year. Today's event is being recorded, and the link to the recording will be made available after the event and shared via email. Also, please note that you have been registered in listen-only mode and cannot be heard or seen by the panelists or other attendees. Therefore, we encourage you to utilize the chat feature, which will be monitored throughout the event. There's also the option to use the reaction feature and show our speakers some love with your favorite emojis, so we encourage you to try that out as well. This event today is particularly exciting because it marks the celebration of Apprenti's 5-year anniversary. A major milestone since our initial launch in 2016. With over 1,500 apprentices placed, Apprenti is now looking ahead at significant growth and increased impact. So let me be the first to say congratulations to all of our graduates. The names of our graduates will be displayed at the end of our ceremony, so be sure to stay until the end to see your name and celebrate your achievement. So today it's all about you, our graduates. However, this success would not be possible without the many stakeholders that help enable and support our program. So with that in mind, I am honored to introduce our first speaker, Jim Chilton, CIO of Cengage. He's a longtime advocate and supporter of Apprenti, and we are honored to have him here with us today.
Thank you. Let's see. It's hard to tell if I am. There we go. Perfect. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I am absolutely humbled and honored to be here and be a small part of the Apprenti program, and did want to take a moment and really talk directly to the graduates. It's been a crazy couple of years for everybody in very different ways. But when I think about you as a group of people and what you had to go through in this learning process that you're in, at a time where the world's been somewhat upside down, I think it is a testament to the accomplishment that all of you should be remarkably proud of. We have a number of apprentices at Cengage, and I suspect that they represent just similarly to each and every one of you. And there's something special about each and every one of the apprentices that have joined us. So I wanted to take a couple of minutes and really acknowledge and share some advice with you based on what we've seen so far. And I want to start by the first thing to see if you could just take a minute and remember when you joined the Apprenti program. The one thing I've heard consistently from every single apprentice I met was, this was too good to be true. I didn't really believe this. And then take a moment and think about where you are now on the other side of that. I want you to think about the accomplishments that came along the way at a time when it was really, really difficult and you had 100 good reasons not to continue this work, but yet you did. So I want you to feel good about that. The other thing I want to share with you that I find remarkably unique about apprentices is your authenticity for appreciation. You appreciate the opportunity in a way that I have not seen with other people that we employ. We have thousands of people at Cengage, hundreds in my team. But one thing that is absolutely consistent is every apprentice I've ever met has always been so appreciative about the opportunity, and it comes through in your work. Don't lose that. Carry that with you through your career. It will serve you remarkably well. Your tenacity to get through this time is also something that will serve you remarkably well. Don't lose that either. These are things that will differentiate you in the marketplace. And keep in the back of your mind the skills that each and every one of you have gained during this time make you a marketable asset here and throughout the world. The technology and the services that you can bring, every company on the planet needs this. And you are now part of that ecosystem. The other thing, a couple points, and I'll be done, I promise, is the cohorts, the people to your left and the people to your right. One thing that we've done at Cengage is we always bring in apprentices at least 2 at a time. And the bonds I see across the apprentices is also remarkable. Your support for each other in your journey is something you should not lose. the alumni of Apprenti exists and is prevalent and is helpful. So support each other in these journeys, whether you're at the same companies or different companies. It's an important component to going through this program. And then last, don't ever confuse your path with your potential. You have the talent, the persistence, and the capabilities to have an amazing future. You have begun that journey today. Make sure that you take every opportunity with you on that journey. And again, I am thrilled to be part of this program, thrilled to be here today, and a personal congratulations to each and every one of you. I am thrilled that you are part of this program and thrilled to be part of it myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim, for those remarks and your thoughtful words of encouragement to all of our graduates here today and for your tireless support of Apprenti. I would now like to introduce our next speaker, Travis Barrett. Travis is a software engineer with JPMorganChase in Columbus, Ohio, and he finished the full stack developer apprenticeship program earlier this year, and we're thrilled to hear from him now.
Hi. Congratulations, graduates. I know this opportunity will change all of your lives forever. Each of our stories and challenges are unique, but we are united by the commonality of our emotions and motivations in managing our predicaments. At the turn of the millennium, my family was living for free in the back of a rundown church, acting as caretakers for the property. I was up in the wee hours of the night on a computer I had cobbled together with scrapped parts I had acquired from a local recycling center, which was just a warehouse with piles and piles of stuff waiting for some kind of recovery process to be invented. I connected to the internet using free ad-based methods over the phone line. I was taking advantage of high school clubs to dip into Cisco networking, C++, and web design. At that time in history, JavaScript was the thing to learn if you wanted to show off something different on your GeoSite's webpage. Adobe Flash was the new hotness all the cool kids were into, and Python was beginning to get recognized as a viable language. But then at the beginning of my senior year, I watched the 9/11 attacks live with the rest of the world, and the scope of my life changed forever. I joined the Marines, not out of a sense of patriotism or revenge that was so popular at the time, but simply because I didn't want to get to the end of my life knowing others had gone in my place. I don't like feeling like I owe anyone anything. And I figured there would be plenty of time in the future to live behind a keyboard. And boy, howdy, at that time, we really had no idea how ubiquitous screen time would become. So it was that with a sense of adventure and a dive into the unknown, I enlisted in the infantry, where I quickly learned that in an environment where no one knew how to do this computer stuff, I was living behind the keyboard anyway. After my contract ended, my worldview and the whole world had changed incredibly. Reinserting into society was only further complicated by technological changes that had happened when I was not in the world. I knew nothing about these things. Having come from a poor family, I had no idea about higher education, how to make it like progress beyond a normal job. I never even experienced a 9-to-5 at the time. But I managed to glom onto an educated woman. I tricked her into marrying me and started a family. I spent the next decade and a half doing almost any job that I could, none of which were during the daylight hours. When the opportunity for veterans and Apprenti came across my Facebook feed, I remembered that high school kid that had never slept, trying to learn how to be a hacker like my heroes, Zero Cool and Acid Burn. I've now been a full stack developer at JPMorganChase for 2 years. And in that time, the opportunities that I've been able to provide for my kids has dramatically changed. Life in the software development workforce has been exactly what I expected, a new challenge every day. But sometimes the challenge is not in the code, it's in with your leadership. We are still at the tip of the spear when it comes to introducing the apprenticeship model into the traditional coding culture. You will need patience as we change this culture. For decades, the software engineering world has been full of individuals who learn a certain way, think a certain way, and problem solve a certain way. We must recognize that incorporating us into their pools diversifies the industry in more ways than demographic checkboxes. Our mere existence in their world challenges the way things have always been done, and we will need patience and resolve as we work alongside them. It can be demoralizing when you don't find the ideal mentor who understands, or even anyone who wants to pair program with you. But remember, we are still at the tip of the spear for this industry change. Being a pioneer isn't easy, but it is rewarding. Stay the course, revel in the challenge, network and collaborate outside your small development teams. My debt to Apprenti is one that doesn't bother me, and I'm grateful to you for helping me improve the Barrett family legacy. Welcome to the marathon, graduates.
Thank you so much, Travis, for sharing some of your story and for your inspiring words. I know our alumni here can definitely take something away from what you shared with us. And congratulations again on your completion of the apprenticeship earlier this year. Next, I'd like to introduce everyone to Brad Busick, who is the Chief Technology Officer at MultiCare and is Chairman of the Board of Directors here at Apprenti.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. On behalf of the board, it is an honor to be with you. Congratulations on this incredible milestone. Before we dive in today, I'd like to extend some gratitude to Nancy Gale from TLG Learning. TLG was instrumental in assisting Apprenti by providing valuable technical training for our partners as we entered into a new market in Wisconsin. An unexpected shift in timeline left us with a need to bring in key training providers to help us deliver training on a really, really short timeline. Not only did TLG demonstrate that flexibility that I think we all appreciate in our partners, but in the truest form, they diligently developed a brand new curriculum and a plan to administer that based on the needs of a series of new partner organizations that had decided to join the Apprenti family. This is the type of collaboration that Apprenti loves and desires and seeks out in the market. TLG continues to be a really valuable partner for us, and many new exciting programs are under development for launch in 22 and beyond. And so with that, I'd love to turn it over to Nancy Gale for some remarks. Nancy?
Thank you, Brad. It's been an honor to work with Apprenti, and now at the 5-year anniversary. 5 years ago, we worked with Apprenti to train the very first apprentice that went to go work at F5 Networks. And today, we just feel so thankful for the relationship and the opportunity to work with all of the apprentices and employers, and just be a small part of this opportunity that it provides for everyone. And from the beginning, I think one of the things that Apprenti has done, and they still do, is they listen to the needs of employers, and then they really develop programs that will best meet those needs and have the opportunity to really bring in diverse talent that maybe because of their original background, hadn't had the schooling or the education to do that. And then with the training and the on-the-job training, just really provide everybody that first start in their IT career, and then that really positive, as Travis was talking about, that trajectory in your career. And so all of you today, graduates, you know how much time you spent, your hard work, curiosity, and everything that you've accomplished just in this, what may have seemed like a long time, but a short time. And I think you'll look back a year from now, and like Travis said, you'll just also be, really amazed at where you are and where you will be going. So congratulations to all of you for your hard work, and just keep being lifelong learners. Hang on to that curiosity and enjoy this time. So take care.
Thank you so much, Nancy. So you guys have heard it a couple times today. Apprenti is at a really awesome 5-year milestone. And as a board member, we are so incredibly proud to celebrate this 5-year anniversary. It's a major milestone since we launched in 2016 with over 1,500 apprentices placed, just like you. We are seeking across the country significant growth and adoption in new sectors that frankly didn't even exist when we started Apprenti 5 years ago. And as you've heard from Travis today, despite the crazy happenings of this year, we have 125 apprentices, just like you, who completed the technology apprenticeship program in the 3rd and 4th quarter of 2021. Not only are we in the apprenticeship business, we're in the life-changing business. Travis, your story was so powerful. And as Jim stated earlier, Travis isn't alone. As you heard people say, this is too good to be true. Is this real? I saw this on a Facebook ad. We hear this a lot. And it's statements like you heard from Travis about getting a mentor, becoming a better leader, improving and starting his own legacy. This is why we do what we do. This is why we get up in the morning. Some of those companies that have said yes to growing with Apprenti and are graduating apprentices include Amazon, Cengage, CHS Community Health Systems, Eversource, Health Carousel, Kroger, Liberty Mutual, Procter Gamble, Transformyx, UC Health, VMware, and Wayfair. And these are just a few. But what's really cool about these companies isn't so much the companies themselves, but the awesome occupations that our apprentices are getting to say yes to. These include 11 apprentices in the Cloud Operations Specialists Level 1 and 5 in the Cloud Operations Specialists Level 2, 4 cybersecurity analysts, 5 IT business analysts, 5 IT support professionals, 15 network operations developers, 14 software analysts, 49, that's 49 software developers, just like Travis, and 15 technical sales specialists. This is awesome. And we're just getting started. The markets that are represented include Tennessee, Cincinnati, Massachusetts, California, Louisiana, DC, Seattle, and of course, our remote participants. So what does this all mean at the 5-year mark? Well, here's some really cool stats for those of you that want some numbers. Our median age right now is 31, 44% of which are Black, African American, Latinx, mixed race, or indigenous. Our wages grew from $42,000 prior to Apprenti to $67,000 in apprenticeship and $85,000 and above when you include benefits. The makeup of our apprenticeship, 28% were unemployed prior to joining Apprenti, and now they have an awesome home. 14% identified as having a disability. Women under-earned men by $8,000 coming into this program, but now earn $3,500 more than men on exit. Veterans, women, underrepresented groups jointly are greater than 85% of our placements. Our target at the board level was 50. We've exceeded that by 35%, and we're really, really proud of that. Our retention rate by employers post-apprenticeship is 81%. Now, think about this. As a board, we drew a target and said, man, if we could get to 70, that'd be amazing. The fact that you guys are getting in and crushing it, and they love you and want to keep you to the tune of 81%, we're really, really thrilled by that. Our year one earnings post-apprenticeship for that 81% that I mentioned that's retained is a $50 million gross economic impact. When you actually expand this out over the lifetime, so 25 years of earnings based on this median age of 31, this is a $1.2 billion economic impact. This is really, really something to be proud of, and you guys are joining an awesome family. And so with that, I want to congratulate you, graduates. We're so excited for the future that is ahead for you, and thank you so much for joining the Apprenti family. With that, I'd like to turn it back over to Auriana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brad. Well, as evidenced today by the many different speakers we've heard from, Apprenti has touched the lives of a huge number of people over the past year, but none more so than you, the graduating apprentices. We know that your dedication to Apprenti's program has been enormously valuable to your sponsoring companies, your communities, your families, and most importantly, to yourselves. So to close today's events, we will be displaying each graduating apprentice's name on the screen shortly. That said, your connection to Apprenti doesn't end here. You are part of a group of over 1,500 apprentices across the country, and we encourage you to connect with one another in the days and weeks to come. Apprenti has an alumni LinkedIn page to stay connected, and will include new ways to stay involved with Apprenti and help future apprentices in their path to their new career in tech. With that, I'd like to say thank you once again for attending, and congratulations to the graduating apprentices. Please join us in recognizing and celebrating the list of all of our graduates and partners via the following slideshow. Enjoy, and thank you for attending the graduation ceremony. you.